In this video, I'm going to be talking about how a high-fat diet, or the highly touted ketogenic diet, or keto diet for short, can actually reduce and lower vitamin D levels, negatively affecting the immune system. So make sure to share these videos with your friends and family, and to like and share so that the algorithm can push out these videos. The goal is to not only help people with their health, since cancer rates are very high, but also to fill in the gaps that a lot of the other YouTube health influencers and health and biochemistry channels could possibly be leaving out. So I'll be filling in those gaps with a lot of the missing pieces. But the only way for people to know about this is if the videos are known through likes and shares. So thank you very much for that in advance. Okay, so there's endocytic uptake via a Megalin, LRE or LRP2 is another way of expressing Megalin, and also Cubilin. And another way of expressing Cubilin is CUBN. And those two are highly expressed in kidney proximal tubule cells, also found in macrophages and dendritic cells, and even some lung placenta or epithelial barriers. So there is the vitamin D complex, which has to bind to the Cubilin, which is DBP25OHD binds Cubilin. And the Cubilin associates with the Megalin, which is a co-receptor. So basically, the Cubilin has to anchor in order for the vitamin D to be able to be available. But if the Megalin is low or absent or downregulated, then the Cubilin cannot anchor. So even if the Cubilin can bind to the vitamin D complex, or the DBP25OHD, then since the Cubilin doesn't anchor, then possibly vitamin D deficiency or low vitamin D levels. Now, the high-fat diet or keto diet, as I've said in some of my other videos, keto or high-fat diet can actually reduce or downregulate a Megalin. So that goes to show that possibly a high-fat diet could lead to a vitamin D deficiency. Okay, so after the Cubilin associates with the Megalin, the complex is internalized via endocytosis, and then the endosomes leads to the lysosomes degrading the DBP after it anchors with the Cubilin, therefore releasing 25-OHD, which is the form of vitamin D that is released. Then that form of vitamin D becomes available for conversion to 1,25-OH2D, which is the active form. And the conversion requires CYP27B1. Now, if you've seen my other lysosome videos, if you have, then this actually makes a lot more sense. Because the lysosomes, they have to degrade the DBP in order for the active form of vitamin D to be able to be converted from the DBP after that's degraded. But if the lysosomes are under lysosomal membrane peroxidation, then that active form of vitamin D cannot be released or will not be available. Okay, so a vitamin D deficiency could lead to autoimmunity. That's excessive T cells attacking healthy body tissues. And this is due to interleukin 2 or IL-2 driving T cell proliferation and activation. But of course, if IL-2 is too high and not suppressed, or worst, in cancer situations where tumors, they recruit tregs, and these tregs, they steal IL-2 from T cells. Okay, so with adequate vitamin D, if Megalin is not suppressed, is that vitamin D suppresses interleukin 2 transcription, therefore reducing the number of T cells. So the mechanism is a vitamin D receptor binds near IL-2 promoter over at the chromatin by recruiting histone deacetylases. So what those do is that histone deacetylases, they modify the chromatin to either be opened or closed, therefore allowing or binding to the IL-2 promoter with the vitamin D receptor, which is of course upregulated by vitamin D. Now, the reason suppressing IL-2 could be a bad thing is because IL-2 is also needed to upregulate ZIP, which are transporters for zinc. So this negative effect of vitamin D being too high could explain or confirm some of the past studies on excessive sunlight exposure, possibly even without any suntan, but how that could possibly lead to cancer, even though supposedly it has been disproven, but it kind of still seems to be up in the air. But that's actually beyond the scope of this video. I could make another one about sunlight exposure or overexposure to the sunlight, because with too much sunlight, then the vitamin D levels would be way too high, and then possibly leading to zinc deficiency because of the downregulated interleukin 2 by the excessive vitamin D from excessive sun exposure. Back to the lysosomes, I've made many other videos, but I will do a recap here. Okay, so lysosomal membrane peroxidation, that could lead to vitamin D deficiency, because when the lysosome membrane is peroxidized, the cathepsins, they leak out, and the cathepsins are responsible for degrading exosomes, which you already know what that is if you've seen my other videos. But also cathepsins are also supposed to degrade the DBP, or the vitamin D complex, so that active form of vitamin D is able to be converted after the degradation of the DBP by the cathepsins. But if the lysosomal membrane is peroxidized, then the DBP cannot be degraded, therefore deficiency in active forms of vitamin D. Now, magnesium can help to repair the lysosomal membrane if it's peroxidized. Therefore, the cathepsins can degrade the vitamin D complex, raising active vitamin D levels. Now, the last piece here is the CYP27B1. That's supposed to convert 25-OHD to active vitamin D. The way that works is with the toll-like receptor 4, CD14, and then TRIF, TRIF. If those are working properly, then that will upregulate CYP27B1. Okay, so that's it for the video. If you're interested in more future videos, then make sure to like and share these videos so that the algorithm pushes the videos out in order to fill in the missing gaps and important points that possibly many of the other influencer health channels are missing or not including in their videos. Therefore, everything makes a lot more sense for everyone else. And keep it locked in here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.